Hello everybody, I'm Nate and welcome to my channel. Today we are going to be looking at a newer release from Aroundsquare. This just was released on their last drop and it was hinted a while back, and ever since then I've been anticipating it because I love the original of this and I was really excited to get my hands on this newer version. So I'm talking about the Mini Delrin version of the Monkey Knuckle. So if you're not familiar with Monkey Knuckles, we're going to briefly talk about those, but this is what we're featuring today. All right, so this is what we're going to talk about today, so let's get into it. All right. Right, so I'm gonna have all like the information, like the specs and so on, just like if I was doing a yo-yo review in the description. So if I don't cover every single detail, because I really want to just play these and talk about how the original Delrin ones sort of work or compare rather to these ones in play, and then really what maybe the benefits are maybe, and maybe what some of the trade-offs might be as well. I do have the original ones. I've actually had these for a number of years. I actually bought these Monkey Knuckles before I ever bought begleri or got into begleri. I had a simple like monkey fist begleri like back in like 2015, but I didn't play with it. Anyways, I thought I would, but I didn't. But I didn't get into begleri until like over a year ago. So I've been less than a year and a half. But anyways, all that to say, the Monkey Knuckles I've had for, oh geez, a while. And I did a video of this, oh man, a long time ago, a couple of years back, of sort of just like, it was a new series I was doing, and I haven't done this for a while, of like comparing skill toys and how they might really kind of help with yo-yo, or what they might kind of speak to yo-yo or influence yo-yo and whatever, okay? So I have the original here, and the original, really, the biggest difference is that they are larger and they are on a larger cord as well. All right, so I'm not gonna do a ton of comparison here, but they're both Delrin, and so they're larger and they're heavier. Of course, they're heavier because they're larger. And the cord is 550 paracord on this, whereas the cord on this is the accessory cord, the 2mm. So if you're familiar with the MK Ultras and things like that from Aroundsquare, that's the same cord that they use on there. So a much smaller cord, but here's the general idea. Like, because these are great, right? Why change something that's already good, right? It's not so much because it's an improvement, it's just that there's a different packaging so that you can actually have something that's pocketable, right? So that's the idea, that's the approach, to have something that's a little bit more pocket friendly, that everyday carry. You know, for me, I have a bag that I take to work every day, so I just put it right in this little pouch here from Aroundsquare. So if you're familiar with their product, you might have quite a few of these. I have dozens of these things around the house, and they're really nice little pouches. I throw it in there and I just throw it in a bag. But I can see where if you weren't doing that, and you know, and you didn't want to like throw this in your pocket, it's not going to really be very comfortable. So again, the idea was to have a more pocket-friendly version of the Monkey Knuckles, but at the same time, not really compromising on play. So really, we're not going to sit here much longer on the bench here, because really I want to play them. And I've been playing them for a little over a week now, and first off, I really dig them. I really like them. I like what they've done, and I think it's a nice size as well. But a couple striking differences other than just they're smaller and lighter. The cord is smaller. We've talked about that a little bit. So this is the 2mm accessory cord, and it's not maybe as soft, but I would guess it's probably going to be a little bit more durable. Now, it doesn't come in as many colors from what I've researched as 550 paracord. 550 you can get in so many colors. So if you didn't really like, I mean, typically Aroundsquare always includes extra paracord, and they did include two other cords with this, which I have a gray, it's sort of like a gray silver, and a yellow, and it's like green stripe, but there's not a ton of options. This is from Sterling something something. Again, I'll have that in the description. But from what I researched, you can't find as many colors of this as may be available in the 550 paracord. There's a trade-off there, I guess, a little bit. Black's fine with me, and it's gonna look really nice with the white. These Mini Delrins do come in multiple colors, just like the regular Delrin size, and the Mo Knuckle comes in. There's like blue and yellow and green and red and so on, and black. You could dye these as well. I was talking to my brother and he was like, if I bought these, I would probably dye them purple. So you could do that, right? You could, you know, go crazy with them and dye them whatever, and or you know, or do a fade or do something like that. So if you like the white, I personally just like white. A lot of my like sort of flow toys, whether that's juggling even or whatever, I really like white. I think it's just, I don't know, aesthetically maybe it's nice, but it also kind of pops, and I like that. It's easier to track with my eye. If I'm in a giant crowd or I'm performing in front of thousands and thousands of people, it's easier to see on stage. Yeah. All right. So, no, actually I have played these in public, the other ones rather. And when you do something like that, and it's the same maybe with yo-yo, you either get completely ignored, or you get looks like you're a weirdo, or somebody asks you, like, you know. But with these, they don't really recognize them typically, you know, as anything. With yo-yo, they recognize it's a yo-yo, and they're gonna ask you to walk the dog, and you're gonna just like say, stop bothering me, or whatever. With these, you know, they're gonna ask like, what the heck is that, right? The other thing too, and I like this improvement a lot. In fact, I would like swap these out and put them on the 550 if they would fit. But the end knobs here, is that what they're called? The end knobs, right? Are just like these, like, I don't know, these little barrel shaped ones. I like that a lot. I got in the package also the new Delrin MK Ultras, and it's the same bead. And I like that a lot. Has that just got a good feel to it. And I like the barrel shape compared to the sort of like oval shape that we have here. And these are fine, but I think the grip on these is a little bit nicer, and I like that. I like that a lot. Let's go and actually just play it. We're not going to really play like the other ones too much because I have a video for that. If you're really interested in that, I'll put that in the description. It's old, so don't judge the quality of it. We're going to go ahead and play these and talk about the benefits of them, and let's get at it. All right. All right, all right. Welcome back to the end that, I don't know, it's different with something else that's not yo-yo. So yeah, we're talking about the Mini Monkey Knuckles from Aroundsquare. Delrin, I assume they probably won't come in wood. I don't have every iteration, by the way, of the Monkey Knuckles. They also come in a Mo Knuckle, which the ball on that is a little bit larger than the regular standard Delrin ones. And then they also have wood ones and a couple different variations of wood. I've looked into picking up the wood ones before, but I never have. I still might sometime. I believe the cord on that is not 550 as well. I think it's probably 275, but I can't remember off the top of my head. But what I'm saying is I don't have every iteration of the Monkey Knuckles to compare them to these ones, but I think the best comparison anyways is from these to the original. Cord length came out of at least the box the same length. I'm keeping it as that. It's felt fine for me. I don't think, if anything, I would shorten it possibly, and I thought maybe I would, and I still might at some point, but I'm just kind of playing it right out of box. So it is the same length as I'm used to anyways on the regular standard one, okay? All right, the biggest thing I was worried about, if I had any worry at all, wasn't really the size, but more the weight. I felt like, okay, maybe there was going to be an issue with it not really kind of having the same kind of flow to it, and it did take some getting used to. It wasn't just like an immediate like click. It took a couple minutes for me to get the rhythm because my expectation was to kind of feel the same. And maybe that's partly my fault because I had actually just played before I got these in, the other ones just that day. And so maybe kind of my mind or my muscle memory was kind of like, you know, it's kind of like when you pick up like a seltzer and you think you're drinking Sprite and your mind messes with you, right? It's the same thing. Like I said, it took me a minute. But after I got used to them, you know, I'm not feeling like I'm really compromising too much. Now, the one thing I will mention is that I don't feel like, and this is really hard to actually talk while I'm doing this, but the one thing I will mention is I don't think these necessarily replace the others for me. So if you have the regular size Monkey Knuckles, I don't think these necessarily say like, oh, these are better. But I think these are a good add-on. If you're new to Monkey Knuckles, I wouldn't say don't get these. I wouldn't say like you need to really have the other ones to really learn that first, and this isn't gonna like be good for beginners. I think this would be fine. I do think there's a little bit more weight, and that does help a little bit maybe possibly with beginning, but these aren't going to be impossible. But if you can get both, because I do think they both have their benefits. I think if I were going for like a longer session, I probably would lean towards those, but I'm not probably going to pick those up and put them in my pocket. And just for the sake of, you know, proving that, I have probably too tight of jeans for my age, and so I'm putting them in here. I actually already have some MK Ultras in here too, and no big deal. Like, it's not awkward. Doesn't look like anything weird, and so again, I think that is a huge benefit, especially if you are into that everyday carry stuff, which I am. Like, I mean, in my pockets, I almost always have at least one begleri and a K-bone, and you know, and so like if I'm adding another thing, it's probably not gonna be these. Now let me go ahead and grab those and I'll show you the difference here, okay? But yeah, much more awkward, right? I mean, you could sit down with that, it'd be fine. Maybe if you got those cargo pants or whatever. These are probably gonna be best if you have a bag on you, something like that. That's what I do. But really, I'd have no problem just throwing these in a regular pocket and just walking around all day with them, and not feeling like it's cumbersome or just awkward in the pocket. These aren't as broken in, at least the cord is not as broken in. I mean, these don't need it breaking in at all, but I'm talking about the cord. So the 550 paracord that I have on the other, it's pretty old. It's years old actually, and it probably could be replaced. But it's not as slippery because it's just kind of broken in, and it's got a lot of dead skin cells probably on it. It's probably really gross if you look at it microscopically. So the cord on this is a little bit slipperier, you know, not much. It's not, I feel like it's uncontrollable. I mean, the Delrin ones in general are pretty slippery, and that does take getting used to. My final thoughts here. These are a great addition to the Monkey Knuckle family here. Not just for the pocket friendliness, right? Because I feel like if you can carry something on you, you know, all the time, and it's gonna be a lot more enjoyable, I think. They're just gonna have more like fun factor, right? If they're more accessible to you. So I think for most people, having something more pocket friendly it's gonna outweigh that, right? So yeah, maybe I'm still gonna play the regular Monkey Knuckles, right? I think the weight on those I like for certain things, but these are just as capable. I can throw just as all the different styles I can and still learn and still progress with these because there's still things to learn. And I like them a lot. I think it's, again, a really good addition to the Monkey Knuckle family. So if you have not checked out Monkey Knuckles from Aroundsquare, you definitely need to give these ones a try. Especially if you're into that everyday carry stuff, or you know, you just love throwing stuff in your pockets. All right, I'll catch you in the next one, but I will say that in a future video fairly soon, I will be doing a video on MK Ultras, which I now have a little mini collection of, so I have a little bit more I can speak about. So be looking for that in the next video on anything Aroundsquare. There'll be another yo-yo video coming shortly too, and maybe a trick video, breaking down a tutorial and all that. So that's on the back burner. All right, that's gonna do it for now. Until the next one, later.